everybody. Welcome back for another edition of the Club Cool Podcast. I am your host, Barrett Dudley, joined as always on the other side of the table by Mr. Phil Battaglia. Phil, what's up?
Hey, Barrett.
How you living?
I'm good.
You vaxxed up yet?
Nope.
No, it's a race to the finish now. Every man for himself. We're here. We're brought to you by Washed Media. We're in the Washed Media studios. Got producer Randy over there on the ones and twos. Got a good show for you today. Want to talk about the possible resurgence of a specific Nike shoe, and then I'm going to pop over to a Grammy trend that I noticed, and then I might pull up one or two DMs to spark a conversation in the back half of the podcast. Hey, guess what? Our friends over at Uniform LA, Pat Allen, new drop today. Yeah. Hot stuff, heavy stuff, 24 ounces.
Ooh.
Everybody's begging for heavier the better.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give him a quick plug and also let everybody know that he has given the podcast a little 10% discount code.
Ooh.
Club Cool 10. Go check it out.
That's great.
This is the first of several kind of imminent drops from him. He's got a lot in the pipeline. We're big fans. I reached out. He was gracious enough to let us get a little coup.
That's great, dude. That's good stuff, too.
So check his new stuff out. Not sponsored, by the way, but could be helpful to the podcast. If we make a dent with our little discount code, we can use that to go bring on new guests, new brands, new sponsors, everything. So
Ralph Lauren's next.
Check it out. You're bound to find something that you like. Really, really classic, elevated, on trend, perfect basics. So shouts to Pat and shouts to Uniform and congratulations on their new drop. What else do we have? Announcements, patreon.com/clubcool. Great way to support the podcast. We have two tiers. There's the cool kids, $2 a month. There's the extremely cool kids, $5 a month. You get more bonus content in the higher tier. I've been thinking about changing the name of that tier to fully loaded, the fully loaded tier. Like a car. That's the implication. Yeah. You get all the bells and whistles.
Keys to the clubhouse.
All the trims and all the details. Leather seats. Wood grain steering wheel. Yeah. Did you check out the Grammys?
I did.
Phil? Did you watch the Grammys?
I watched a good bit.
Yeah? Okay. Let's talk about some Grammys.
Okay. First of all, real quick. Is it a coincidence that the only people in attendance were the winners?
No.
Okay.
I don't know, but that's not exactly true.
I know, but it was just very odd.
But there were lots of people missing, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm sure that people were like, "Am I going to win?" And they were like, "No," and they were like, "Okay, I'm not showing up."
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Am I performing or am I winning? If not, because a lot of the people nominated were performing.
Yes.
And if you weren't performing, were you there? Maybe not.
We're gonna seat you at this two top. Keep that mask on.
Yeah.
And we're sorry, but no Grammys tonight.
This was the first award show where I felt like people got really creative with the masks. There were a lot of matching masks to the outfits, even cut from like the same cloth as the dress or the kit or the tuxedo or whatever it was.
Also, I felt like the performance sets, since they were off-site, were so elevated. Like Taylor Swift's was mind-blowing.
Yeah,
although
so
she lip-synced.
I talked a little bit about this on OCC, but what we missed in like live audience reaction shots, it's always fun to like see the people in the crowd like awkwardly dancing to the music. We absolutely gained in incredible performances on much better sets.
I will trade that off. I like the new sets.
And for like as weird as I thought that the Globes were, and as kind of a disaster I'm sure that the Oscars will be, I'm with you. I kind of like this for the Grammys because I don't really care about the awards at the Grammys.
No.
I'm here for the performances.
100%.
And the performances were much better this year. At Billie Eilish's with the half buried car.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, so you didn't? Did you miss all the opening performances?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't see my boy Harry Styles?
No. I saw him with the boa, which we could get into.
Did you see your boys, the Black Pumas?
No, didn't see that either.
Okay, so you tuned it in late.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the opening was maybe the coolest thing. Like
they did back-to-back?
They did 3 back-to-back, and then they went to commercial, and then they came back, and like after the first award, they went right back to the Black Pumas.
God, dog it.
So Trevor Noah, the host, he like walks into this ballroom, and it's like the ceiling and like all the walls are like covered in like what looks like that I'm going to botch the pronunciation here. It's like the glass artwork, like Chuhili? Chuli?
No clue.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Maybe. Is it blown glass?
Yeah. Randy,
Okay.
do you know what I'm talking about? No?
Come on, Randy. Who cares?
No, I do. Is it Chihuly? I think it's Chihuly.
Sure.
I'm going with Chihuly. That's what it looked like. I don't know if it was or not.
Like Cholula, the hot sauce.
But really, really cool, funky, like artwork coming down from the ceiling. And then it was almost like this big circular room.
Yeah.
And everybody had their own little pocket.
That's cool.
And right in the middle was Haim.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a little very sparse like drum kit with the guitars.
I missed that too.
And so Harry Styles opened it up, and then they went straight into Billie Eilish, and then they went straight into Haim. 3 back-to-back performances to open, all of which were great. Did you see Lil Baby and Killer Mike out in the street outside Staples Center?
No, I didn't see that either.
Did you see Dua Lipa?
I did see Dua Lipa.
Crazy costume changes.
Yeah, she's good.
She's nice to look at as well. Yeah. She could have done anything up on this stage, and I would have been like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep doing what you're doing. Who else did you see?
I saw the whole country, when they did the 3 country artists.
Okay.
The girl that I believe won Best Country Album, Black
Miranda
Like
Lambert?
Me.
Oh, Megan Guyton?
Yeah, or was it Best Single? I don't know.
Yeah.
She won something.
Right.
First time seeing her, first time hearing that song, that was really good.
Yeah. Did you see the WAP performance?
I did. That was good. Megan Thee Stallion solo was good.
Yeah.
And getting to listen to, didn't she give a little bit of her background? Did they interviewed her about her story, right? Growing up in Houston, I had no idea she was even from Houston.
Yeah, they were doing the little videos, the little
like
video
that.
packages. Yeah.
like
Oh
that.
yeah, big H time.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, big night for Houston at the Grammys. Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, 2 clear winners.
And getting right into the outfits, though, the first thing I saw was Harry Styles in the boa.
Yeah, he brought boas back last night. I almost just ran right out to Party City and just cleaned him out of boas.
I wonder if that was
Give
some
me all your boas.
Gucci boa. Sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was all in Gucci. I think he was in Gucci the whole night. I'm just trying to think if there's any other performances that I wanted to touch on before we jump into
Taylor Swift was
to
good.
the trend. Yeah, Taylor Swift's was really, really great.
I liked the song. It bugs the shit out of me when people lip sync.
Okay. She was one.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 that I noticed were lip syncing were her and then Meg Thee Stallion / Cardi B.
Well, yeah, they were moving around too much.
But their performance was so over the top.
Yeah.
Phil, my jaw was on the floor for this performance. And not because I was personally scandalized by it, but because I could not wrap my head around the fact that CBS was putting this on screen.
Yeah, no kidding.
CBS, this is the network that like your 80-year-old grandparents watch. They tune in to watch shows called FBI.
Ashley and I were talking about
NCIS.
if somebody
Does your favorite show, The Equalizer, appear on CBS?
I don't know.
I think it does.
Either that or FX. If somebody were to tune in from like the 50s, they would just to turn on the Grammys when WAP was on.
Yeah.
What would they like? Coming from, we just recently watched the PBS Jazz documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like those people, that was their music. That was it. That was the popular music. Place one of them in that audience. Don't you think they would just all implode?
I mean, it would be like. Have you ever seen the SNL sketch where they're doing Oprah and she keeps giving out free stuff?
Oh yeah,
and then like Kristen Wiig's head explodes. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it was a spectacle. I loved the performance.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when they switched to Cardi B and she was doing that song called Up, and she was like all moving around and it was all the graphics behind her because she was kind of on a blank screen and it looked like she was like
that was cool.
in hands. That was so cool. I wasn't super familiar with that song, but I loved it. And then yesterday I listened to it at the gym like 6 times in a row.
They're unmasked at your gym, aren't they?
What's up?
Unmasked.
They've unmasked us at the gym.
Lifetime.
Yes.
I think I was one of 15 people with a mask on.
Yeah, I go like 60% mask at the gym.
Damn it, Barrett.
I get to breathe in heavy, and I don't want the I feel peer pressured by everybody else.
Yeah, you bastard. I used to do the same thing, but then I was like, there's too much breath going around in this joint for me to keep this. I need it on.
So if I get if I get like in a position where like there's somebody kind of in that 6 foot range to me, or where you were near the same, or jungle gym or pull up bar, or whatever it is, I'm I throw that thing on and I don't take it off.
I don't run with it,
but if I'm doing like, if I'm doing box jumps or like something really strenuous, burpees, stuff like that, I
power cleans,
squat thrusters,
yeah,
benching 325.
Damn.
No. Yeah, I drop it off for a minute.
Well, I was just shocked. I had no idea. I missed the email from Lifetime.
Okay.
Because I immediately text Dave Ruff of Circling Back. And was like, did you get the email? And he said, yeah. And it's shocking the amount of people that just are like, fuck yeah, we're done.
Yeah. So to put it in perspective, just from like the timeline of things, last summer when the gym reopened, you didn't have to wear your mask while working out.
Yeah.
And nobody had the vaccine at that point.
Right.
And cases were not really looking great at that point. And so at least now, like, people are getting the vaccine, the cases are way down.
This is a personal battle for me now.
The spread is low, and so it actually probably makes a lot more sense to not be masked at the gym now than it did when I was doing it back in the summer.
I just think it's just unnecessary. Just keep the policy. Wait until the CDC says, you know what, you're good.
Yeah.
It's a personal quest for me to not get it now. My parents are vaccinated. That's the only thing I really cared about.
Yeah.
Ashley's halfway vaccinated. I'm not. I've come this far.
Right. So okay. So your point is you got to not get it until you get the vaccine.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. That's fair.
I don't want to get it in the fourth quarter.
And no, I totally hear that.
Especially from some meathead at the gym.
Yeah. I will tell you what though. We've had kind of off mic conversations about this. Based on kind of like my I'd say 3. Based on my 3 main text groups, I'm feeling way behind on getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
Most of my friends have figured out a way to already get it.
Are they in Houston?
They're all kind of all over the place. Some are in small towns in Texas. A lot are in Houston. Some are here.
We got the short straw, my friend, living in Austin, the capital.
Yeah, I think so. I do. I
can't get a vaccine.
I do think that's accurate. And most of the people that I know that have gotten it, or a lot of them, have had like a nice little connection.
Correct.
To quickly get like the end of day leftover.
Yeah.
Type doses, and have been plugged in. So I mean, if you want to get social about it as well, this is just the way things go.
It is just the way things go.
Like the privileged people that have flexible jobs and can focus a little bit of time on working one of these ways to get it are getting it. And the people like essential workers at grocery stores and retail and restaurants are shit out of luck because they're not being prioritized by the government, and they're the ones that don't have the time or the access to go figure out how to get an early dose, which sucks. But at the same time, now that 1C in Texas is open, which is 50 and up, now it's like it feels like a total free for all. And I think that the more people that get vaccinated, as quickly as possible, the better. And so I don't want to wring my hands about it too much, because it's just like, if you can get it, go get it, and just do it and knock it out. Because the more people that get it, the better, and the less we have to worry about getting COVID at the gym.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
we'll get it eventually.
Yeah,
the vaccine, not COVID.
That's right. But I definitely, it does feel like we're in the fourth quarter, and it would really suck to expose yourself now to it.
That would be the crowning blow to this past year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know how we got from the WAP performance to COVID, but we did. So let me just rewind quickly. Because I was playing the Up song at the gym. Anyway, just really wild performance. Loved every second of it.
Yeah, that was good.
It was something. I'm glad that we had something crazy on the TV to talk about. I wanted to point out something I noticed trend-wise from the men's looks, and this came from three performers specifically. And I'll just preface this by saying, when we started this podcast several years ago, I was a leather daddy.
Yeah. Barrett was going to leather bars.
I was going to leather bars. You couldn't give me enough leather. Had a nice collection of leather jackets, although I never did get that perfect rider like you ended up finding last year. But but just to say, that was my shit, man. That is what was always near the top of my wish list, is insane leather jackets or whatever. And then over the last 18 months, that kind of faded. And I just as we got into more techie stuff, and fleece had such a resurgence, and some of these brands that we were following were putting out just kind of stuff that felt more casual, more natural, cotton, linen fibers, that type of stuff. We just shifted a little bit, and it felt like leather was suddenly a bit on the outside looking in. But leather never really dies. Leather is never off trend. It just kind of ebbs and flows as to whether it's at the top or not. And based on what I saw at the Grammys, I'm absolutely believing that leather is about to come back full force. Because three of our big performers were draped up in leather. Harry Styles, full Gucci leather suit. Very cropped jacket, very flared trousers. Then we had Lil Baby. I know the pants were. I think the whole thing was all Amiri. Leather jacket, leather pants, what looked like a leather bulletproof Kevlar vest.
Nice.
And then Post Malone, who was... how would you describe his look? He kind of looks like Liev Schreiber playing a Marvel character.
Yeah.
Or Liev Schreiber. Actually, Liev Schreiber he's Wolverine's brother in one of those X-Men movies. That's kind of what he looks like here.
He's kind of like a Western.
Yeah, it's something. Now,
the slicker.
He's got the whole big duster.
Yeah,
the duster coat. And it's clear from all the crosses on it that it's chrome hearts. Now, before we continue this leather conversation, let's take another quick aside here and go off on another tangent. Are you familiar with this chrome hearts thing?
I've heard of them.
All right. So, chrome hearts, to me, what it feels like is the modern day Ed Hardy and Christian Audigier. This stuff screams flash in the pan trend that lots of people will regret at some point. Adding to that is the fact that if you are just a hype beast of hype beasts, chrome hearts is your shit right now.
Is it really?
You cannot get enough chrome hearts, and you got to have the trucker hat that says fuck in Old English on it.
Ugh.
And you got to have the silver chrome hearts jewelry, and you got to have the denim with the crosses on it, and this is just...
I thought that was Off-White. Didn't Virgil do something like that with crosses?
Maybe?
With denim? I don't know.
What do we got? I'm on the website, and I'm not getting much because I guess there's nothing in stock right now.
No, those aren't $1,265.
Those are $1,265 pair of slides on the website right now. But this has been happening for a while. Chrome hearts is all over Grail. This is the type of jewelry that you're going to see a lot of dudes rocking from Chrome hearts. It's a lot of silver. It's a lot of Greek crosses, and what it is very, very West Coast biker heavy.
Yeah,
which is why I'm comparing it to the stuff that I just mentioned. It reminds me of the West Coast customs T-shirts I wanted when I was in high school watching Pimp My Ride. Right, this is it's very reminiscent of a lot of early 2000s trends, chain wallets and just this really heavy stuff. And I think that the original market for chrome hearts is a pretty grimy biker style dude. So the people that were kind of authentic and true to chrome hearts were very much in this kind of biker centric subculture of sorts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of counterculture. Now it's hype. And now and even though that I see this stuff all over Grailed and I see it all over Instagram, it seems to have gone another level up because you have guys like Post Malone in full-on custom chrome hearts at the Grammys, and you have dudes like Drake that are decked out in custom chrome heart stuff in their new videos. Here's the if you're watching on youtube.com/washmedia, here's the Post Malone fit that we're referencing. My take on it is it's a complete skip for me because it is a trend that won't age well.
No way, dude.
And anytime it's like, anytime something feels a little too costumey, you know, like we talked about like last week, right? Like wearing some SB Dunks even though you don't skate, wearing some Arc'teryx even though you hate the outdoors, that's one thing. Going like full on leather crossboy,
yeah.
If you have never ridden a Harley, is like that's the type of thing that doesn't age well.
Yeah. When
it's totally, you could be mistaken for having on a costume.
I'm waiting for them to do the biker jackets, like Hell's Angels, like vests in leather and patches and stuff, and getting your ass totally kicked if you catch the wrong person.
Yeah. Well, just don't go around. What is it? The 1%? You can't have the 1% patch on.
Ah, is that a?
Or is it 3%? I think it's 1%. Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bikers get the patch on their leathers that I think is 1%, and it's saying that like 1% of us are like true members of the culture of the gangs of the Hell's Angels or
very cool
or whatever. So if you put a 1% patch on your leathers, on your vests, you better be ready to throw down. You better have some backup.
Man, I would love for one of these designers to
throw one on there. Yeah. Okay, back to the leather and all the leather daddies. So I think one of the differences here with leather as it kind of comes back into vogue is that it felt very cordoned off into like bombers and riders.
Yeah.
5 years ago, and now you're going to get that, and you're going to get leather everything else. So shirt jackets, chore jackets, blouson style stuff with like regular looking collars. You'll get the dusters. You'll get
leather cardigans.
Yeah, probably. Don't put it past me. You're going to get the suits. Obviously, we've talked about how leather blazers is absolutely like about to pop off, but the Grammys definitely signaled that leather is back.
What are you going to put with that leather blazer? What are you going to wear?
With that leather blazer?
Yeah. Are you going to go Harry Styles and just pop top underneath?
Well, so I'm actually glad that you brought this up because one of the results of my cabin fever this year, over the last year, has been the here's some 1% patches for you.
Hell yeah. Brother's keeper. Yeah.
One of the side effects for me from a year of cabin fever and quarantine, I'm back to having the urge to do something to my body in an artistic way.
Ooh.
Now,
dare I say ink?
Well, so the two options are piercings or ink, right?
You can do both.
But I desperately need this to end so that I don't do something rash.
Like Lil Uzi.
Like Lil Uzi, yes. I'm like a month away from putting a diamond in my forehead.
Dude, what the fuck is going on with that, man?
It's weird. It is very weird.
It's beyond.
It's
that has to get caught on stuff all the time. Putting on stuff
I don't even want to
head.
know. It makes me want to pass out.
I know.
Even just thinking about it.
Okay, hold on. I want to keep going on this. Where does he get it's donated, right? He's not buying these multi-million-dollar diamonds, right?
No, he said that he's been saving and paying off this one since 2017.
Oh my god. Man.
Yes.
That makes me want to pass out.
And now he has a pink diamond lodged in his forehead.
I hope that
he's been paying it off since 2017, $25 million diamond.
What the fuck? Man, he is not paying his security enough. Think about that.
Yeah.
All the plots.
Yeah.
I'm plotting.
Plus, the people that were like, they had like plastic surgeons and piercing artists and that type of thing, basically like responding to news outlets and stories about like how he was even doing this. Like, what are the various options to embed a giant stone in your forehead? All of the options sound horrific.
It's an anchor.
Right. Like with it, like, and then the diamond like screws on or whatever.
Into it, yeah.
But like you're saying about it getting caught on stuff, if he gets like punched in the face, it's probably gonna scoop off half of his forehead.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be serious damage.
It is remarkably stupid.
It's asinine. Yeah. It's totally asinine. Yeah. Now, here's what's not asinine. Getting a giant butterfly tattooed on the top of your stomach right underneath your chest like Rihanna or Harry Styles.
No, that's a good one. I like that.
I'm not lying to you, Phil. Harry Styles did this performance in his leather getup and his boa, and I was like, I need a butterfly tattooed on my stomach.
You're researching tattooers immediately. Here's what you don't do. Don't do those sparrows up on his chest. That's just my opinion.
Why not?
They're
played out?
Way played out.
Okay. A lot of people did that. Don't forget, Harry Styles started getting tatted up when he was 18 years old, which is always a mistake because you're always going to get bad tattoos if you start getting them when you're 18.
He may have started earlier than that.
Yeah, he might have. But I'm into the butterfly. I'm into the big ass butterfly.
You might be able to pull off a little right here below the eye.
Oh, just get
like Bieber. What did he get?
Like I think it's a cross under there. But I like Harry Styles tattoos way more than Bieber's.
Well, for sure.
But yeah, the shirtless. Did you see there was there's no way I can find this quickly, but just like a day after Kyle Kuzma on the LA Lakers, he went down. Yeah, here it is. He was clearly inspired. Suit, no shirt.
Yep. But he's got the
tats blowing in the wind.
Right.
You need tats to pull this off.
Correct.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, first I get the butterfly tattoo on my stomach.
No, first you get the
then
leather jacket.
Then I get the leather suit.
Go leather first. But see, the good thing about that position of a tattoo is it's very rarely will anybody see it if you want to cover it up.
Yeah. I feel like if I ever do, I gotta start with piercing and just see how it feels.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I'm just not a piercing guy.
Well, how is that possible? How you
exactly? So here, let me give you an example. This morning, I had my yearly physical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've gotten a yearly physical in 5 years.
Well, you're due. They drew blood from me over here. That gave me. I thought about it last night. I've been thinking about it for a week. That size needle gives me trouble.
Yeah.
But this, obviously, no problem. Sitting there for hours, having somebody shade me with multiple needles, but it's totally different for me.
Well, I mean, so probably one of the reasons that I've got crazy white coat syndrome. So the last time that I did have a physical, I had a vasovagal reaction and passed out.
Fuck.
And I generally deal with this at doctor's offices. There are a few exceptions, which for some reason are like grandfathered in, and I don't have an issue with them. But yeah. So I was okay the last time I got blood drawn. If like that one's okay to me, I don't know. But all the I don't like getting poked and prodded anymore. That's what triggers me.
You just get a simple ear pierce on the lobe, or you going up?
Yeah, I think I would get a simple ear pierce on the lobe.
Okay. Yeah, because they can use. That's pretty intense too, man. I watched Ashley get hers done at Diablo here.
Yeah.
It's like they're putting on the gloves and they've got to sterilize everything. You got to sit there and think about what's about to happen for a very long time.
It's just a little hole in your ear, though.
Sure, but the needle is not small.
Yeah.
In length.
Okay. Right. It's a big, long needle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
do they put an apple under your ear, like in the Parent Trap?
No, they didn't do that. That's not sterile.
Yeah. You know what else I did? I do have a note to bring up something else, though. Do you happen to remember us talking trends? And one of my trends to look out for was like knit, crochet, and mesh tank tops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's finally here in more full force. And there's one from Stussy
That's cool.
that I think is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you don't have a sweet ass butterfly on
Yeah.
your stomach to show off, I feel like something like this is kind of how Amiri showed the leather suits 2-3 seasons ago. They had like the kind of crochet mesh knits underneath. So you still get like the open air type look, but you got a little bit of coverage.
That's cool.
It fills in for the yeah. There's also, let's see if it's on web. I saw it on another website, but they also have they're doing a lace shirt as well, which is also very same thing with this like open weave, kind of open air.
Hit the red one.
And then of course it's like playing off the Bodhi vibes. Aime is about to release a knit kind of lacy mesh shirt like this as well. So I wanted to give shouts to Stussy because
I like that. The black one.
Yeah, because this is they've got a couple really cool trend pieces that don't really. The shirt's $120, the tank's $80. So I mean, it's not ASOS or H&M cheap, but it's you don't have to pop over to Essence and spend $500 to get in on this. Yeah. So leather, tattoos, piercings. I love it all.
You're doing it all.
I'm doing it all. No, but seriously, this gotta end because I know this is a symptom of just like me itching to experience, to feel something, basically.
Barrett's gonna start cutting himself.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
Hear from a sponsor, and then we'll come back. Phil, you know what's always tough every single year? Springing forward. It's awful. My synapses still are not firing correctly.
Correct.
I'm not sleeping that well. This week has been kind of a nightmare. The only thing getting me through it is the Headspace app, because it's this nice little app, pocket-sized guide that helps me sleep, focus, act, and be better. If you have 10 minutes, Headspace can change your life. Headspace is your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. It is one of the only meditation apps advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. So whatever the situation is, Headspace really can help you feel better, whether you're like me and you're just kind of having some wonky sleep issues this week, or you're overwhelmed by work, or you're overwhelmed by the traffic that is back in full force, it would appear. Headspace has a 3-minute SOS meditation for you. And that's just one option. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Headspace has wind down sessions. For parents, they even have morning meditations you can do with your kids. Their approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, boost focus, and increase your overall sense of well-being. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/clubcool. That's headspace.com/clubcool for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. So you go on, you get the app, you use the code CLUBCOOL, you get 1 month free, and you will have access to everything that I just mentioned. The SOS meditations, the ones you can do with your kids in the morning, the sleep stuff, the wind down stuff, the whole kit and caboodle. This is the best deal offered right now. I mean, you really have nothing to lose here, and this is the perfect time as we do kind of get over the hump and we get into spring and we get into the fourth quarter of the pandemic. You know, we think it's going to get better, but it's just going to bring on all the stuff that you forgot about from 2019 and before. So get ready, get Headspace app, headspace.com/clubcool. This is the best deal offered right now. Go to headspace.com/clubcool today. All right, Phil, let's see. What else did I have on my list to talk about today? Oh, yeah. I want to talk about some shoes. Real quick, I just saw a note on my... The last thing I wanted to say about the leather, just rewinding one more time here. We've talked about how, like, current trends, right, are very much, they feel right for a work-from-home era. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to lose all that, but... There have been a lot of references made to how after the Spanish flu of 1918, what followed was the Roaring 20s. I'm sure you've seen the memes and heard people talking about this, right? And I do expect that sensation to kick in at some point, whether that's later this year or 2022, or even really beyond that. Once it's really, really like over, and we are fully unmasked and going back to live sporting events in full effect, like all that. Like, I just think that there will be this overwhelming sensation to kind of like be fancy and be sexy again. And maybe we were losing some of that like heading into the pandemic anyway. And I just feel like that'll all be kind of, pushed back up to the top.
Yeah.
The desire to like be classy, basically, and feel cool and like do stuff that's,
creating TikToks,
nighttime stuff. I don't know. Okay. So I was watching The Bachelor on Monday and Matt James, he was letting the final two girls meet his family. And he had his brother and his mom there. And his brother, for these meetings, was wearing a pair of Nike Foamposites. Do you know the shoe of which I speak?
Yes.
Okay.
This is another OG sneakerhead.
Yes. Here's the original Penny Hardaway Foamposite that I remember. This bright blue and black thing. This shoe came out like 25 years ago. 1997 was the release for this. 24 years ago. And it still somehow looks pretty damn futuristic.
Right.
Like it's pretty, it's pretty spacey. And I tweeted and basically said, is Matt James' brother single-handedly bringing back the Foamposite tonight? Because they look pretty cool. And I wouldn't say the tweet went micro-vi, but it got a lot of responses. It got a lot of likes, over 100 likes. And I was surprised that people, one, even knew what Foamposites were, and two, were reacting with such, with such strength. And I felt like they were saying, yes, give me Foamposites. If you pull up the sneakers app right now, there is a Foamposite dropping over the next couple of weeks. And then I'll scroll up here a little bit, and you can see that they've been given the Comme des Garçons seal of approval as these made an appearance on a runway recently. And so how do you feel about this? Do you think that Foamposites are cleared for takeoff?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Everything comes back.
Yeah.
If the dunks are as popular as they are.
So I think this shoe looks really cool. It's one that I remember wanting. I think I've told everybody the story about how my mom would not let me buy the Concord 11s because they were too gaudy.
Yeah.
With the patent leather.
Yeah.
These, I think, were too expensive because Foamposites were always, and they're still one of Nike's most expensive shoes. The pair that's releasing later this month is like $220.
A lot of material going on.
Yeah, a lot of molding.
Yeah.
This is high build, high make type stuff. But just for reference, I mean, Jordan 1s are $50 cheaper. They come in at $170, and then even like the stuff that has more detail, like 6s or 5s, is usually $190, right in that $200 range. So these take another leap up to that $220 price point, which is a bit of a barrier. You see stuff like like a lot of the new Yeezys kind of sit around for a while now, and I think part of that is definitely because they're over that $200 threshold. It's just there's less money to make in the resale market typically, and it's just it's a bigger bite to chew off. For like, if it's $150, you're like, okay, I'll try it. I'll see it. Let me see it. $220. You add tax, you're up to $240. It's just a different ball game, right? The other thing about this shoe is that it just feels very basketball-y.
Yeah, that's a basketball shoe.
It's a basketball shoe.
Yeah.
And that's always tough.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's just really hard to wear casually.
The Jordan is a basketball shoe that you shouldn't play basketball in. This is something that is the opposite. Trying to pull this off in the streets. I mean, the what they've got going on with the Comme des Garçons is pretty cool, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. They're so big.
They're big. They're clunky, and I don't understand really like what you'd pair these with really. But at the same time, maybe it just is going to make sense with like the mishmash look that we see so often right now, where you're pairing workwear with Nikes and you're pairing double knees with windbreakers and just like all the kind of kooky stuff that you see kind of matched up today, right?
Yeah.
So
LeBron can put something together.
Oh, absolutely. But he also has a high-paid stylist. But definitely something to watch out for. I know, and we're not the first people to wonder if the Foamposite is queued up for a comeback, but This shoe primarily for me falls into a category which a lot of Nike shoes do, which is they really make me wish that I was like playing some pickup basketball somewhere.
That's what you're gonna do.
Because I'd like to play pickup basketball. Mm-hmm. Where can I go run threes? You know, where can I run some fours? Nobody knows. I don't have access to the Gregory.
You imagine Barrett and Phil rolling up to a street ball court.
Yeah,
we got next, and just getting run. All over the court.
Well, we got to work on your J.
Yeah.
You know, we got to be, we're 3-point shooters.
Correct. I'm not going in the paint.
Because we're going to get stuffed in the paint.
I am not going in that. I'm too old for that. This dude came into Tom's last night, and he's a little bit younger than us, maybe, and had a broken wrist from skateboarding. I was like, dude, let's cool it.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that's your passion, maybe, but like, dude, breaking shit at this age.
I had a buddy fully blow out a knee playing basketball.
Yeah.
Like
Brad.
Like in a wheelchair for 6 weeks.
You talking about Brad?
No, but Brad did too.
Yeah.
Right?
Pick up basketball. He blew out the ACL, then he blew out the other one doing something else.
Did you really?
We're not what we used to be.
Basketball is definitely the sport that feels like it does
at any moment.
Yeah, and your body as it gets older, it does not want to continue playing basketball.
Now I say all this, I'm such a hypocrite, but I've been out on the tennis court.
It's different. It's different. It's different.
But mine, and you're making some hard cuts on that court.
You are, but there's something about.
There's a lot more going on in a basketball game.
And you are dealing with physical contact as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're coming down at different angles.
And the jumping and coming down is a huge part of it as well.
Yeah, you're a little bit more calculated on the court.
And I would just wager that like I mean, maybe you are out there just straight up Novak Djokovic style.
That's
just
exactly
like
right.
Rafa up and down, side to side.
Between the legs.
Lateral king.
Yeah.
But but you think about like the type of cuts that you make in basketball, the type of like hard plants. Are you doing that much? Are you doing that
there's
much? There's
some
of
of that,
tennis?
but there's not as much. The quantity is less, but it could go bad.
Are you playing tennis right now?
Yeah,
dude, we got to get on the court.
Bring it.
Where are you playing?
Wherever they'll have me. I play with a friend of mine, Jude, and he's really the only person I ever play with. Okay. And it's very sporadic, but I'd like to get back into it.
Yeah, dude, same. We need to get on the tennis.
Racket needs to be restrung, regripped, the whole deal.
Yeah,
I need a racket.
We've got some listeners that are tennis boys.
Okay.
Nike makes some great looking tennis shoes. Might have to pull up some of those next week.
I've tried to look. I wasn't.
You weren't blown away?
No, but who cares? You know.
Yeah.
As long as they work.
Yeah. Do you have tennis-specific shoes?
I do not.
What are you playing? Are you playing running shoes?
Yep.
Okay.
Another recipe for disaster.
That's right. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got no lateral support, Phil. How are you gonna do behind the leg, between the legs with in running shoes?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, be careful out there.
I will.
But no, we'll have to get something on the schedule because I'll come serve it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did we have today? Do you want to go to the DM real quick that I talked about?
Yeah, sure.
Quick convo. This was a really nice DM to get. So let me pull it up here. It's from our man Stan. He says he loves the show. He's almost 42 years old and struggling to dress age appropriately, whatever that means. This is compounded by the fact that he recently lost a lot of weight, which he partially attributes to our podcast, wanting to fit into some of the brands that we spotlight. Anyway, how is a 41-year-old dude supposed to dress? And before I pass you the tennis ball here, I do want to say that we've talked about this a little bit in the Discord, which is a perk that all of our Patreon members get. Patreon.com/clubcool. You will get access to the Discord. A lot of chatter going on in there. But we recently did talk about like, are there certain looks that you grow out of or that you need to stop wearing as you come up on that, as you approach 40 years old and then beyond?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your takes here?
One thing that's always baffled me is how it is acceptable, in quotation marks, to continue to wear flip-flops throughout your entire adult life as a child. You can always wear those, but to me, I think those should be discarded.
So you're axing flip-flops at 40.
Yeah, before that.
No, not for...
If you're on the beach, I'm talking about with a fit. If you're wearing pants and flip-flops...
Don't go out to dinner in flip-flops.
Do not do that.
Yeah. But what about, like you know, what... Let's just take, like, the Instagram looks, for example.
Yeah.
Can you wear, like, shorts and dunks? Can you wear, like, double knees at 40 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so, dude. I think you can wear whatever the hell you want to wear.
Okay.
To me, if you're comfortable in it, fine. That's what you wear. But it can look a little weird when I see guys over the age, I don't know about 40, but 50 plus wearing, like, ripped up, blown out shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And ripped up, blown out anything. Although I still like the denim, but just to a certain extent.
So Stan also mentioned just, like, you know, that he had lost a bunch of weight. A lot of this is almost less about your age number and more about just the way that you carry yourself too. Mm-hmm. What your career is. Yeah. Do you have kids?
Right.
Where do you live? Like, all of this adds up, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you know, you can get away with a lot more if you live in LA or New York or even somewhere like Austin where you can be a lot more casual, right? Versus, I don't know, do you live in, like, Tulsa or
Dallas
or Santa Fe? You know, I don't know. There's just, so you kind of have to dress for your, I feel like as you get a little bit older, you start dressing a little bit more for your surroundings to just kind of, like, blend in a little bit more naturally. And then physique wise, like Jeff Goldblum looks awesome in Saint Laurent and Prada.
Right.
But he's a tall, slender man at age 75 or whatever. So if you're, you know, if you are like a more normal guy, maybe carrying around a little beer weight or whatever, like, yeah, you're not going to look as good in that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's just about, I think as you get up to that age, it's more about, like, flattering your body type, flattering, like, your general look. Do you have facial hair? Are you wearing a beard, or do you have, like, a goatee or a mustache? Do you have to work with that? Because, like, is it, you know, is it weird to, like, be decked out in athleisure, but you have, like, a Tom Selleck mustache, probably. Mm-hmm. So it's just, it's like the little things like that. But I'm with you. I think that generally there really is no age limit to this type of stuff.
No.
There is, like, you know, I think the exception to that is that the stuff that really bleeds into hypebeast territory, Supreme, Chrome Hearts, like I mentioned.
Ignore all that.
Like, ignore it.
That's not going to add anything.
Because that's not and at 40 years old, none of your peers are going to think that looks good anyway. Right. So, and then another thing we were talking about is on the Discord is, like, how kids factors in. Because once you have kids, you're going to be a lot more concerned with the bodily fluids and the dirt,
right,
and the crayons and the markers and everything that could potentially get all over you. Mm-hmm. And you need clothes that wash well and can take a beating, and that you're not going to freak out about when, like, something gets spilled or barfed all over. So that's just, like, that's another thing. But I think that, you know, you mentioned that a lot of the brands that you're interested are ones that we talk about here. I think pretty much every brand that we push and highlight here, whether it's ones we talk about a lot like AMA or John Elliott, or ones that we, you know, talk about as, like, bubbling up, like recently, like the Zephyr and Sunflower and all that, everything that we kind of talk about here, I think is good for our age range.
And I think that
and that extends, I think, into your 40s. You know, as long as you feel good in it and you feel comfortable in it, I think that's what really matters.
A good takeaway or inspo is always Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
Because he keeps it on trend enough, but it's all that is the most versatile line that's going to be a little bit more elevated. And you can find some stuff in there that if you want to take some risk.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren's always good.
Another guy that I've talked about before, look up the designer Brunello Cucinelli. Mm-hmm. Not for his clothes specifically, which are very, like, Italian and extremely expensive, but he's, like, to me, he's kind of like pinnacle old guy style, and he looks a lot like Ralph Lauren with just, like, a little bit more of a European twist.
Yeah.
But same, like, really classic kind of washed out denim. He wears cool shoes, typically leather, but not necessarily like anything that's too stuffy or conservative. And then he looks great in like cool jackets and blazers and you know, he's got really cool kind of, you know, middle-aged style, I would say. And look, there is something to be said for becoming more and more timeless as you do approach those older ages.
Yeah.
Simply because you don't want to look like a kid. You don't want to look like you're trying too hard. You want to evoke some gravitas and some wisdom and some knowledge. And so I do think that while I'm sitting here saying that if you feel comfortable in it and if you think you look good in it and you like it and it speaks to who you are, definitely do that. There's no question that you do kind of button it up a little bit more as you become older. And I don't know, 40 is one thing. Like, will I still be wearing Jordans at 40? Probably. Will I still be wearing Jordans at 50? Hard to imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So there is that, like,
yeah,
you do get to that point where there's kind of a breakaway, I think.
Yeah.
And I just think determining where that is kind of up to the individual.
You'll have those Jordans on the bocce ball court. At the retirement home.
At the retirement home. When I'm 50?
Yeah. When you're 50. I'm retiring at 50. I'm going straight in.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we can think about that a little bit more because it's definitely a question. It's definitely something that I think about, and I'm coming up to 35 this year, and I kind of have the same question. Like, is there stuff that's making me look like I'm a child?
Don't try and dress like anyone else, though, just because they are a certain age and that's looked at as what you're supposed to look like.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Also, the Japanese stuff, a lot of that can go into the...
That's a great point, and I'm glad you said that. The stuff, like engineered garments, that, like, the dudes that are into that on Style Forum, for example, I would say they mostly are in that 40 to 50 age range. There's guys that make 18 East look great in that in that age range, but that type of stuff that kind of comes back to heritage Americana, whether it's diffracted through like the Japanese lens or not, all really, really, really good stuff as well. Really solid looks, as kind of for any age, really.
Yeah, and you got to have the budget too.
And you do need the budget, which hopefully you're also getting more and more of as you do get to that age. Get those kids out the door. Yeah,
get to that retirement home. Bocce ball court.
All right, that'll wrap it up for us today. Thank you to our sponsor, Headspace. Go check out the Headspace app, headspace.com/clubcool for the best deal that you will find. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/clubcool. We have 2 tiers to choose from. You'll get a lot of great content. Whichever one you choose, and no matter which one, you will have access to our Discord. Follow us on Instagram @ClubCoolPod. And yeah, man, just get your leather daddy looks ready to go when this fourth quarter ends. And go check out that uniform drop, Club Cool 10% off. And it like I said, Pat's got a lot of stuff coming out over the next few weeks and months. So if you didn't need heavyweight fleece today, then just wait for the next one, because there will be something for you, I promise. Any last closing thoughts, Phil?
Somebody let me know where I can get a vaccine in this town.
Yeah. Also,
hit me up.
Hit Phil up. Philip, what's your realtor one?
PhilipBattaglia.realtor.
PhilipBattaglia.realtor. Capital R on the realtor, right?
Not in the handle, but you're right. It should be.
But it should be.
It should be in all caps, actually.
All caps.
Yeah. But say I'm a bad boy.
All right. We will see you next week. Adios.
See ya.
Welcome to the club.